You ready, Steve?
I am ready.
Okay. I will call the August 18, 2026 meeting of the Newtown Township Board of Supervisors to order. I will note that we did not meet in executive session, so I'll ask Mr. Neese to please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Altieri,
Here.
Mr. San Francesco,
Here.
Ms. Chanlis,
Here.
Ms. Grasso,
Here.
Mr. Russo,
Here.
your solicitor and manager are here.
Thank you very much. We'll now move down to section 5, which is the moment of silence. And we'll stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
United
America,
States of America,
and
to the republic
for
which it
one
stands,
nation,
one
under God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move down to section 5.1. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved. Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Russo, seconded by Supervisor San Francesco. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion carries. Section 6, public comment for agenda items only. If there's any members of the public that are residents or taxpayers, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and please note that you have 3 minutes per speaker.
No one's coming forward.
All right, perfect. We'll now move down to section 7, new business 7.1. I guess we'll put this on the table first. 7.1 is, can I get a motion adopting the ordinance authorizing the incurrence of lease rental debt to secure repayment of the guaranteed sewer revenue notes 2026 series to be issued to the Newtown Township Municipal Authority and award and execute related agreements and documents. Let's get the motion made and then we can turn it to discussion and they can do their presentation, I guess.
Okay, so moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Grasso, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. I don't know who's there from the municipal authority, but if they want to explain what's going on here.
Yes, yes, Steve Mackel is. Steve, I think you're going to need to come and speak over here, even though, no, I think you're going to have to be actually over here because they're not picking up. Well, they were hearing me on the system, but I don't know if all of a sudden they're not. So if you could do that, please.
Okay, thank you. Steve Mackel, Vice Chair of the Newtown Township Municipal Authority. We've done a lot of work to look at proposals for refinancing the bonds that are from 2018. And we have selected Delaware Valley Refinance Authority to move forward with the bond refinancing. If there's any questions, I know you have the materials. We can, and Lucian Calhoun is here from DVRFA as well and can answer any specifics.
Well, I mean, I don't really know how much details. We've kind of been left out in the dark on a lot of this. So we've had to do our own independent analysis, even though we requested one to be conducted. So I don't know if Lucian wants to give an overview. I understand that we're already securing this debt and it's your debt. But I think that there are, at least I have some questions. So I don't know who's the proper person to kind of explain this from a high level so that at least I can have some comfort, especially given the situation that we find ourselves in with the economy, whether this is the proper time to move forward, even understanding that we have that lock-in that is being discussed or being offered by Del Val. So whoever wants to start explaining to why we should be backing this $30 million debt, I think it's probably a good start.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, for those that aren't familiar with Del Val, we were finance authority created by the 4 counties in 1985. And since then, we've originated more than 460 loans to more than 215 different local government units. in 16 counties of the Commonwealth. For the life of the authority, we've been a very economic means of doing financings, and that's the case for the municipal authority. The loans that we provide, with a 22-year maturity, such as would be required for the municipal authority, typically average about 50 basis points lower in all-in true interest cost than a comparable bond issue. And I know that this is a big financing, and we're certainly pleased that the supervisors and the directors of the municipal authority have elected to proceed with this, and want you to be comfortable that it's a good decision. Our competition just closed a transaction for a school district in the Poconos, a $35 million transaction that's comparable, pardon me, to the municipal authority financing. If the district had used Del Val, they would have saved $2.65 million in debt service cost over the life of the financing. The cost of issuance of that financing were about 2.5 times the cost of issuance that this Del Val loan would require. A bond issue would require the funding of a debt service reserve fund, which a Del Val loan does not require. That reduces the amount that needs to be financed by almost $3 million. So we're confident and comfortable that the decision that's been made will result in the greatest possible savings to the authority under the current market conditions. The guarantee that the township would execute constitutes lease rental debt under the Local Government Unit Debt Act. And the enactment of this ordinance authorizes the execution of that guarantee agreement and the incurrence of the lease rental debt. The ordinance approves the refunding of the 2018 bonds. It approves the municipal authority's selection of Del Val. It approves the cost of issuance that Del Val would assess. On this transaction, the cost of issuance will be $146,500, which again is about 40% or less of the comparable cost of issuance for a bond issue. It pledges the full faith, credit, and taxing power of the township in the event of a deficiency of the sewer revenues generated by the municipal authority to make the debt service payments. But that guarantee again only kicks in if there is a deficiency, and there's no expectation that there will be a deficiency. The maximum possible payment on the lease rental debt that's being incurred is, I don't exactly have the number memorized, but it's $5,175,000 in that range. But that's the theoretical maximum payment at a 15% interest rate. And obviously that interest rate will be fixed at a substantially lower rate. We expect it to be fixed in the 4.3 to 4.35% range, depending on what the market volatility is tomorrow. But again, the guarantees only becomes an issue for the township in the event that there is a deficiency. The loan to the municipal authority is exactly like the 3 loans that the township currently has with the Delaware Valley Regional Finance Authority. The provisions are exactly the same as the case with the 3 existing loans. The township has 3 loans with Del Val aggregating around $9 million. And I believe the interest rates range from 1.2% to, I think the higher rate is some, don't recall if it's, I think one of the loans may be around 3%, but the others are, in the 1% and 2% range. So the same benefits that the township has enjoyed will be enjoyed by the municipal authority.
Perfect. And those three loans, I mean, those are substantially less than what this is potentially incurring, correct? Aren't those three loans kind of like an apples to oranges comparison, you'd say, with regards to the total amount we're talking about?
Well, the provisions are the same, and with Del Val, the loan rate's the same for small loans, big loans. We've done large transactions for the Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority, 50 million, and we've done $50 million and up transactions for Chester County, Delaware County, Bucks County. But the size of the loan is, doesn't affect the loan rate or the provisions of the loan.
And my concern necessarily is whether you guys are a qualified shop. I don't think that was ever called into question, at least by me. I just have questions on one. I thought the process was handled in a very interesting way, where we were kind of boxed out the entire time. There was no discussion until we were kind of forced to make moves, and then we're being told that by us slowing down, we were incurring additional costs, which I think is just a ridiculous sort of proposition to put us in, which doesn't necessarily, I guess, involve you. Let me ask this question with regards to, and this is, just I guess the last question I have is, understanding that we're going to be locking this in and the interest rate will be lower than that of a bond. I understand that. And let's say the interest rates go lower after we lock in, we're getting an option to, I guess, lock that in one more time over the span of this bond lifetime, or at least for the next 10 years, excuse me. I guess the question that I would ask is, what's the rush of doing it now, right? It's not like interest rates are obviously high. We know what it is. Like, is this truly, and I guess this isn't really a question for us to answer, but I'm curious, why would we be rushing into this now, or the municipal authority be rushing into this now, as opposed to waiting to see where the economy is in a year or 2 years? Is it just because we started this process and we don't want to backtrack a little bit? And that might be a question for Steve. I don't want to be unfair to either of you, but I'm just curious that, why we're going to be moving forward if we have so much uncertainty with the economy right now.
So I'll answer.
If you can slide up just
Okay. In December of 25, we began the process of this. A engagement letter was supposed to be executed, and it was approved to be executed and sent to Stifel, I believe. And on July 1st, we were told that they have not received that. It was never sent by the township, which we didn't know until that point. On June 9th, we had a meeting with DVRFA to discuss this and come up with a proposal. Stifel was not able to move forward until they had that letter of engagement in hands. Unbeknownst to us, they didn't have it. And we were on the track to do that while the audits were getting done, which were needed as part of this. And so June 9th, we began a conversation with DVRFA. And June, I can get my notes, but there amongst in June up July 1st was when we were told that Stifel did receive the letter and could come up with a proposal. In evaluating those two proposals, the restructuring of the debt was first available to be refinanced in September of this year. And we were tracking towards that since our December meeting. And when in getting proposals from DVRFA and a competing proposal from Stifel, it was decided upon the municipal authority board that we were comfortable with that savings, with the origination savings, as well as the overall savings in the debt refinancing.
No, Steve, I understand the timeline. I appreciate that. And I think it's helpful. I guess, and maybe I phrase it incorrectly, is given that we've moved forward, or the municipal authorities moved forward with this, and then seeing the uncertainty in the bond market and the volatility of the economy right now as it relates to interest rates, I guess my question is the municipal authority clearly is still comfortable moving forward, as opposed to maybe waiting a year or 2 years to see where we are? Is that, I mean, clearly that's the answer, I guess. And I guess I just want to make sure that we're comfortable with that as well, because if there's a potential that we're saving more money next year because the interest rates go down, and I get it, it's a potential. We don't know whether they're going to go down. We don't know whether they go up, but I don't want to see us lock in and then only have one more bite of the apple over the next X amount of time over that term.
That's correct. We decided to move forward with September as our date to refinance, knowing that we could save $1.2 million plus the origination cost savings.
But that basis could also, that savings could go up if the interest rates go down even more.
It could, but we don't have a crystal ball to say what the rates will be a year from now, 3 months from now. But it does cost substantial money monthly that we're losing right now if we decide July, August, September to do that.
No, that's fair. The crystal ball, it's definitely a fair analogy, but we also aren't necessarily up against a time clock, I guess is the question I was getting the answer to. And I think I got it. So that was helpful though. Lucian, I appreciate it. That was helpful. Steve, I appreciate it. As I said before, I appreciate the time that the municipal authority spent on this personally. I know that we had our own independent analysis done as well once the two providers were kind of narrowed down. So I don't know if there's any other questions from the board.
I do. We still don't have that question answered on what is the scenario if we wait.
My answer is the same. It would be, we saw the opportunity to refinance in September, waiting because of the unknowns. It was a chance for the ratepayers to get a savings. So we decided to move forward with the timeline that was proposed back in December.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
I would just like to say that I did have a chance to talk to.
Can you all hear Cheryl?
I can, yeah.
Great.
Okay.
To Del Val, and I did communicate with Steve via email with the side-by-side comparison. I know, Steve, you did yours, but this right now is when you can refinance based on the bond from Steve. And I think based on the analysis that you did with Del Val and a little bit of what I looked at from our folks, it does seem to make sense. And even though we don't have a crystal ball to predict what will happen, the benefit of Del Val is you don't incur any additional expenses to refinance, if I'm understanding correctly. And you can also reset. So if the interest rate, if the interest rates go up, we're locked in. If they come down, we can watch them come down and then we can reset at the lowest possible rate. And then we're guaranteed that rate at the end of this period. I think
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for saying. I should have mentioned that too. That was an attractive feature of the DVRFA refinancing as opposed to doing a bond issuance.
Any other comments from the board?
So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I understood that right. So if we lock in now, but rates, actually do fall in the future next year or at another point, do we have the ability to lock in a subsequent lower rate?
Well, what's contemplated is a 10-year option. It's similar to what you would have with the bond issue. The difference between a Del Val loan and a bond issue is with a bond issue, when you exercise an option, as is the case with the 2018 bonds, you have to refund them. You have to incur all the costs and go through all the drill of issuing a new series of bonds to pay off the old bonds. With the Del Val loan, when you exercise an option, there's no reissuance. There's no additional cost. It's just a rate reset. And with a bond issue, you can't exercise an option more than 90 days prior to the option day. So if you have a 10-year option, you have to wait until 90 days prior to that option date to take advantage of what lower interest rates are hopefully in the market at that time. With the Del Val loan, we can make a forward commitment years in advance to be effective on the option date if you hit a low interest rate environment. And that's exactly what we did with one of the township notes. We executed, we made a commitment to refund a bond issue of the townships about 15 months in advance of the option date. And we locked the rate at that time to be effective on the option date. And that's something, and again, there's no cost. DelVal charges no fees. There's no filing to DCED requirement. There are no cost of issuance incurred. If the authority had used DelVal in 2018, we wouldn't be doing this refunding. And the authority would have saved about $7.5 million in debt service costs.
Wouldn't we have to wait another 2 years? Wouldn't we've had to wait another 2 years? Isn't it a 10-year term?
Well, we could have locked the rate in 2020 to be effective in 25.
I thought, well, this loan would be 10 years though, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you're saying it would have been an 8-year term on the last in 2018?
No, I'm saying if they had done the deal with DelVal in 2018, first of all, lower interest rates were lower than they are now. This refunding only works because there are 5% coupons on the 2018 bond issue. That's the only reason that refunding is economic.
Well, I'm just saying if in 20, I was just talking about the term. I thought you said we would be refining.
No,
We're resetting now, I thought you said.
Well,
Instead of refinancing now. I
yeah,
thought we have to wait.
if you've done the deal with DelVal in 2018,
Yeah.
in 2020, we would have locked 1% interest rates like we did
10,
to be effective on the option date.
2020 would have locked in, but the option date would have been 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Any other questions from the board? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mike, are you a yes?
Yes.
All
Can you
those,
hear me?
yeah, we can hear you. Let's actually, Stephen, you should probably just do a roll call vote because it sounds like everything's blocked up.
Okay. Mr. San Francesco,
I'm in now.
Ms. Chanlis,
Yes.
Ms. Grasso,
Yes.
Mr. Russo,
Yes.
Mr. Altieri.
No. All right, motion carries 3-2. Move down to section 8, public comment. If there's any public comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and please note that public comment again is 3 minutes per resident and taxpayer.
We have no public comment.
All right, any board comment? I just want to reiterate again, I do appreciate the work that the municipal authority did on this. I think it was a good conversation and a good exercise. So it doesn't, that vote does not discount the work that they put into that.
I also like to comment that as much as we got our independent contractor to do an evaluation and things like that, I do hope in the future that the process is more open and the lines of communication between at least the supervisors and the municipal authority and going forward is more presentation based and conversation based, because as much as we got to where we are right now, I do think we could have done a better job collaborating and getting this out in a timely fashion with direction.
Any other board comment? All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Good evening, everyone.
You too. Is this your phone?
Yes.
Okay.